to another reading. And of course, we're reading from the Science of Mind magazine, the Daily Guides. Also, if you live in this area, welcome to a somewhat cooler Greater Houston area and raining on and off in different places. It's one of those times when you get all these showers here, there, and everywhere. Scattered showers is the expression, I believe. But it's good. We need the rain. I kept promising towards the end of last month that I would read from Murphy the Human Whisperer, Murphy's Dogma. I actually did it briefly on one of our social media posts, but not on the general post. And I forgot which one it was too. It's one of the smaller ones. So anyway, here is Murphy. Murphy is a cute little dog. I'm not quite sure what he is. He's some kind of terrier. He's white. Looks like he has a turquoise collar on. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, his human is Reverend Dr. Bob Luckin, Luckin. This is actually from the July edition. Murphy's Dogma, Pause with Perspective, and he called this one The Soul's Symphony. He says, after you left, I remembered a song. Not just any song, but your song. I love to hear it again and again. You call it a heartbeat. I call it a symphony. I wasn't lonely. I was fine with the silence. I just wanted to enjoy the tender kindness your heart makes me feel every time. Your song tells a story. It has triumphs as well as tragedies. Your heartbeat has no need for words. Hearing it gives me the courage to remember mine. At the end of the day, words can't capture the beauty and the wonder of your being. Your heartbeat is the heartbeat of love. It says everything that needs to be said. Your song is a song that my heart can't stop loving. When you look at the world through the eyes of an artist, a musician, everything becomes new again. Everything is connected. There is a beauty that comes alive and makes the heart dance. When you see the art of life being lived, you realize you too are a part of the art of the music of life. You are the heartbeat of love, light, and divine expression. Don't ever forget that you are an artist. Listen carefully and you can hear your heartbeat. What you hear is the music of an artist. And he ends by saying, stop to listen to the beat of your heart. Breathe in the beauty of infinite love. And as I said, that was from the July 2024 edition. Kind of cute. It kind of fits in with today's reading, kind of, which incidentally is from the paperback version. Why? Because I don't yet have the digital version. I'm not quite sure how the system works when we can have the paper version, but not the digital version yet. I assume that the people who publish the digital version for us, I don't know, maybe they don't work on the Labor Day weekend. The title for the daily guides for this month, and we have one person, of course, writing them. You're going to find out about her in a second. Desmond Tutu, you remember the late great Anglican Archbishop in South Africa. I'm not sure it's Johannesburg or Cape Town, but one or the other. He said, forgiveness says you are given another chance to make a new beginning. Forgiveness says you are given another chance to make a new beginning. So it's kind of flips it around, which is kind of cool. Our writer this month is somebody who's a published author. She isn't a practitioner. She isn't a minister, but she does have a lot of wisdom. She says, with joy in my heart and tears in my eyes, I offer to you, my friends, these simple practices of peace. After 30 years of reading Science of Mind magazine's daily guides and having them support my spiritual path, I travel full circle by bringing these reflections to you. Gratitude rises within me for the gift of your loving presence on this journey of the Spirit. May we walk together on the journey to peace back home. Hang on, let me read that again. May we walk together on the way home to one peace. My apologies. So, what about her? Well, this is what she describes herself as: a wisdom seeker, a spiritual teacher, a visionary, a graphic artist, and a mystic entrepreneur. She's the author of Everyday Spirit, a daybook of wisdom, joy, and peace. And she's also the author of Everyday Spirit Gratitude Journal. She goes on to say, after receiving a nursing degree, she spent many years as a musician, songwriter, producer, piano teacher, and yoga instructor. She completed her Compassionate Bereavement Counseling certification in 2017, and she now works with parents who've lost kids, with individuals in hospice end of life care, and with their families. And she has a house by the sea and lives a contemplative life in harmony with nature. An updated hardcover version of Everyday Spirit is now available, and you can find her by visiting everydayspirit.net. everydayspirit.net. Now I just realized I didn't look up who the first quote came from. We're the builders who are building a world that has never been built before. We're the builders of a world that has never been built before, and that's Cleo Wade. I have to look up Cleo. And Ernest Holmes in 365 Science of Mind, on page 68, says, I now turn to the spirit within me. I know that it is close to me. It is what I am, and it governs my life in harmony and peace. Okay, so as we move on here, what does Mary Davis have to say? As we welcome this new month and season of the heart, let's begin with a gentle reminder. Everything that we need to navigate the storms of life, we will find within, including peace. This week, she says, I found myself in the middle of one of life's storms. As I rocked on seas of change and uncertainty, I searched for the coordinates of inner peace. I remembered that in the eye of the storm, there is a tranquil oasis, just like there is in us. As I looked for a path to my calm center, I noticed that small moments of beauty and gratitude unveiled my peace. I found peace in the soft pink clouds of sunrise. I found it in the joyful song of the cardinal. I found it in a deep breath, in the kindness of a friend, in meditation, in prayer, in thanksgiving. It was here, hiding in plain sight. Today, as we set sail on a journey into the very heart of peace, it might feel like an unattainable dream. But when we look at peace through the sacred eyes of spirit, we realize that inner peace is not a dream for the future. It's a practice of many small steps that combine to create a new way of life. It's an adventure of spirit. Peace is a friend who never leaves, a friend who reminds us that these challenging pieces of our lives are not separate from the peace of divine love. Peace lives right here within us, illuminated by the simple, sacred moments of this day. So it's really kind of self-explanatory, I think. To me, what does it say to me? Because what it says to me is potentially, at least in some degree, different than what it says to you, because that's natural. Why? Because we all see the world through a different lens. We all look at life in a different way, even sometimes minutely, sometimes in a big way, but we each look at life through a different lens. So it tells me that when stuff's going on in my life, that because I've done my spiritual work, that I can find some calm in the center of all that's going on. And I distinctly remember when the Hurricane Ike came through Houston back in 2010. Was it 2008 or 2010? One or the other, anyway. It's 14, 16 years ago. We do get quite a few hurricanes here. It was a huge hurricane. The center was like 50 miles across, if I remember correctly. 80 kilometers, if you prefer. And I distinctly remember as the center passed over us, there was this total calm right in the center of that hurricane. And it was there for a while because, as I said, it was a huge center. So it took a while for this 50-mile wide center to come across. But I distinctly remember how calm it was when it went through. And then once it had gone, then, of course, all the flurries of the storm came back. So to me, it tells me that when stuff is going on that's all at sea, quote unquote, or things are going awry, things are not going exactly as planned, that there is that calm that we can just turn to. And once we do that, it's amazing how the situation itself often changes. It's kind of like watching Cesar Millan. I don't know if you know who he is. He's the dog whisperer. And he's changed his approach in recent years. So if you watch him now, what you will find he's telling people is that your energy affects how the dog or dogs are behaving. That your energy has got a big impact on it. That if you're showing nervousness, then it's going to affect the dog. If you're showing fear, it will affect the dog. If you're showing love and joy, it will affect the dogs. So I thought that was really neat that here's this guy who works with dogs and he's figured out, I don't know what his religious spiritual beliefs are, but he's figured out that the energy that we put out greatly impacts our pets. So if we are calm, then our animals are going to be calm. So to get a step further, if our energy affects our dogs, and probably our cats and any other animals that live with us, then it's also got to affect human beings. So if we're being all at sea, the energy is going out there. If we're being extremely calm, then we tend to send that calming energy out to other people. So this is what it tells me, simply saying that, hey, if I can change my focus in the midst of chaos, then I can produce order. Let me see, what? The affirmations. I unveil the peace within me. I unveil the peace within me. I have a calm center in the storms of my life. I have a calm center in the storms of my life. Listen, if this is Labor Day weekend for you and it's not yet Labor Day, then have a wonderful time. If you got this time off work, enjoy it. If you have to work, well, just remember, you'll be able to make that time up some other time. But when the storms of life come along, just remember that you have within you that power to resist those storms and to bring peace to yourself and then peace out to everybody else. So I'm just going to end by wishing all you a wonderful rest of the weekend, wonderful day, and a greeting that's often used in religious services and was very common in Europe and still is common in the Middle East, which is simply this: peace be with you. And the reply is, and peace be with you too. So until next time, Reverend Voice will be on at 9-ish in the morning, and I'll be back 5-ish tomorrow evening. Namaste.